Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. In December 1936, two senior generals of the nationalist government, Zhang Xueliang and Yang Hucheng, jointly launched the Xi'an Incident, using military force to compel Chiang Kai-shek to change his anti-Japanese policy. However, after Chiang was released, he detained the two key figures behind the incident, Zhang Xueliang and Yang Hucheng. In the end, General Yang Hucheng was executed before Chiang Kai-shek retreated from the mainland, while General Zhang Xueliang was placed under lifelong house arrest, only gaining his freedom in his later years. Despite both being central figures in the incident, their fates were drastically different. Many believe this was due to Zhang Xueliang's special relationship with Song Meiling, with some even suggesting that she saved his life. However, in his later years, Zhang Xueliang once openly stated, aside from Song Meiling, another woman played an even more important role. But I let her down. So, what was the true nature of Zhang Xueliang's relationship with Song Meiling? And who was the other woman who saved his life? According to historians, Zhang Xueliang, widely known as the Playboy of the Republic of China, had encountered many women throughout his life. Traveling back to Shanghai in 1925, Zhang Xueliang was then serving as a lieutenant general of the Northeast Army, commanding its elite forces. He was at the peak of his youth and ambition. In Shanghai, the future master of the Northeast was introduced by prominent figures and politicians to a banquet hosted by the U.S. consulate. It was at this event that the 24-year-old Zhang Xueliang met the 28-year-old Song Meiling for the first time. At the banquet, Song Meiling wore a red qipao, exuding the charm and elegance of a mature woman. Zhang Xueliang was instantly captivated by her and became deeply interested in her. Many years later, when the elderly Zhang Xueliang recalled this meeting, he still remembered it vividly. He even openly stated, "When I first went to Shanghai and met her, she was astonishingly beautiful." From this remark, it is clear that the young Zhang Xueliang had feelings of admiration for Song Meiling upon their first encounter. In fact, during their initial meeting, Zhang Xueliang actively showed his goodwill. He took the initiative to converse with Song Meiling, laying the foundation for their future interactions. As for Song Meiling, although she had never met Zhang Xueliang before, she had long heard of him. After all, as the future ruler of Northeast China, he was someone whom everyone had to regard with great respect. Shortly after the banquet, Zhang Xueliang delivered a speech expressing strong support for patriotic students' movements, even providing financial assistance for their cause. This act greatly impressed Song Meiling and deepened their connection. However, at that time, Zhang Xueliang was already married, preventing him from pursuing a romantic relationship with the renowned socialite of Shanghai. Thus, although they shared a close bond, their relationship never crossed the boundaries of friendship. During the Central Plains War, Chiang Kai-shek was besieged by Li Zongren, Yan Xishan, and others, nearly being overthrown. Zhang Xueliang heroically led his troops into the Central Plains, bringing an end to the conflict. This action not only saved Chiang Kai-shek's political career but also made Song Meiling see Zhang in a new light. She even praised him for having the charm and demeanor of a Western knight. By that time, Chiang Kai-shek and Song Meiling were already married. The couple eagerly invited Zhang Xueliang to Nanjing for a meeting. Zhang and his wife, Yu Fengji, relocated to Nanjing. Upon their arrival, Song Meiling personally invited them over and hosted a family-style dinner to create a warm and welcoming atmosphere. Yu Fengji, who was not very talkative, grew fond of Song Meiling in this relaxed setting, and their friendship quickly deepened. Song Meiling's mother also took a great liking to Yu Fengji and encouraged their sisterly bond. The close relationship between Yu Fengji and Song Meiling also influenced Chiang Kai-shek and Zhang Xueliang. Despite their 14-year age difference, the two men eventually became sworn brothers. However, their brotherhood was rather fragile. In December 1936, the Xi'an Incident broke out. Zhang Xueliang's military action nearly cost Chiang Kai-shek his life. If not for Song Meiling personally traveling to Xi'an to mediate, Chiang might have been in even greater danger. This life-threatening experience was something Chiang Kai-shek could never forget. Upon returning to Nanjing, he immediately had Zhang Xueliang detained, originally planning to execute him. Strangely, Chiang ultimately changed his decision at the last moment and chose to put Zhang under house arrest instead. In later discussions of this historical event, many attributed this decision to Song Meiling's intervention. However, Zhang Xueliang himself revealed in his later years that another woman played a crucial role, his wife, Yu Fengzhi. According to historical records, Yu Fengzhi was born into the wealthiest family in Huaid County, Jilin Province. Her father, Yuan, was a renowned businessman in northeast China. During their childhood, Zhang Xueliang and Yu Fengzhi were betrothed by their families, following traditional customs. Aware of the Zhang family's power in the northeast, Yuan made a special request when arranging the marriage. Zhang Xueliang was to have only one wife for life and was forbidden from taking concubines. In the Republic of China era, it was common for men of high status to have multiple wives. Zhang Xueliang himself had several spouses. However, Yuan's demand effectively prevented Zhang Xueliang from taking concubines through conventional means. Unfortunately, Zhang Xueliang was known as the most notorious playboy of his time, setting the stage for Yu Fengzhi's lifelong tragedy. Although they were betrothed from a young age, Zhang Xueliang never truly loved Yu Fengzhi. He only respected and appreciated her. Even after she bore him children, he never fully devoted himself to their family life. He frequently indulged in the pleasures of brothels and had deep romantic entanglements with women like Gu Ruiyu and Zhao Yidi. Eventually, he even brought his mistress, Zhao Yidi, into their home. Although Yu Fengzhi received a modern education, she was still deeply influenced by traditional Chinese values. Despite Zhang's betrayal, she never gave up on their marriage. Before the Xi'an incident, Yu Fengzhi had already taken their children to Britain for their studies. However, upon hearing about the incident and Zhang Xueliang's arrest, she became extremely anxious. She immediately called Song Ziwen, pleading with him to do everything possible to save Zhang's life. After making the call, she rushed back to China without hesitation, heading straight to Nanjing to beg for mercy on Zhang's behalf. Leveraging her remaining influence in the Northeast Army and her long-standing connections with the nationalist government's senior officials, she persistently pressured Chiang Kai-shek and sought clemency for her husband. Although Chiang was known for his authoritarian rule, he found himself in a difficult position due to political pressure from multiple factions, especially with hundreds of thousands of Northeast Army soldiers watching closely. In the end, under both political pressure and personal appeals, Chiang Kai-shek compromised. He did not execute Zhang Xueliang but instead placed him under long-term house arrest. To appease the Northeastern Army and prevent Zhang Xueliang from making a comeback, Chiang Kai-shek constantly changed his place of imprisonment. However, Yu Fengzhi remained steadfast, accompanying her husband through countless relocations and enduring a life of hardship and displacement. Years of relentless travel, anxiety, and stress gradually took a toll on her health. In 1940, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. At that time, cancer was almost synonymous with an incurable disease. But Yu Fengzhi refused to give up. With Zhang Xueliang still imprisoned, she felt she had to survive to continue seeking his release. Driven by this determination, she traveled to the United States for medical treatment. Whether it was her strong will to live or the advanced medical technology in the US, after multiple surgeries, she miraculously overcame the disease and regained her health. After recovering, Yu Fengzhi did not slow down. To improve Zhang Xueliang's living conditions in captivity and support their children, she ventured into the stock market in the United States. With remarkable courage, business acumen, and very limited capital, she successfully made millions of dollars in the stock market. She then invested in real estate, further accumulating wealth. Despite her success, she never forgot Zhang Xueliang. Using her social connections, she repeatedly worked to secure better treatment for him during his house arrest. However, her deep devotion was never able to win back Zhang Xueliang's heart. In the end, the two divorced, and Zhang Xueliang chose to be with Zhao Yidi. In 1989, Zhang Xueliang was finally freed. On March 20, 1990, Yu Fengzhi passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 93. Until the very end of her life, she never had the chance to see the husband she had loved so deeply again. Upon hearing the news, Zhang Xueliang could only sigh with sorrow. In this life, I have failed you. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.